There are a wide range of EDC lights, but they all seem to share one thing in common. They're round tubes. Well, until now. This is a Monstrum Tracer, part of a whole new breed of rectangular, flat EDC lights, and we're going to test one out on this episode of Moondog R&D. Hey, Moondog here. Earlier this year, I got a chance to go to SHOT Show where I met the folks over at Monstrum Tactical. Monstrum is a tactical accessory company that makes, well, they're primarily known for making scopes, red dots, and prisms for firearms, but they also make tactical lights. And they're introducing a bunch of new and interesting tac lights this year, some of which hadn't been released yet. Well, this is one of those new releases. This is their Tracer. This is one of the new popular flat, high lumen tac lights. This is 1,000 lumens, and we're going to test it out. We're going to open it up, see what you get in the box, charge it up, and see how well it works. So let's get started. Alright, this is what you get in the box, and this is what the box looks like on the outside. Very clean, almost medicinal. We have a manual, and always read your manual, and it gives you specifications. And there's two smaller packages in the main package. The charging cable, a USB-C charging cable, and the other has the unit itself. So that just shows you how small this is. Okay. We have a unit that is a little over 4.5 inches long by pretty much 1 inch wide and about 1/2 inch thick, minus the clip. Has a nice broad clip. It will tell you if you press any of the buttons how much of a charge it has. So right now it is at 3, which is mostly charged, so we're going to charge this up fully before we do any actual lumen testing of this. But as you can see, as you were able to see, you can turn on the laser with a single press on the left. The right flashlight turns on, double press, double tap turns it on, one press turns it off, and you can cycle through the modes by keeping it pressed while on. And there you go, low, medium, high, turbo. Well, super turbo, it seems like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so there's 5 different brightness modes. So we're going to test this out. We're going to charge this up using its USB port over here. And we'll charge it up for a few hours till we get 4 dots on here, and then we're going to start testing it out. One feature I forgot to mention, which is very useful, is that the Monstrum Tracer has magnets in the base. Even though this is metal, it is magnetic, so useful in finding, say, a lost set screw in the carpet or a firing pin spring, or just simply mounting this onto the underside of your hood so you can use this as a work light if you need to work on your car or what have you. So yeah, very useful. Alright, let's test out the lumen output. I let the light run for 30 seconds before putting it into my DIY integrating rig. And this is not some NASA-designed, highly precise scientific instrument, but I did calibrate it to a known 100 lumen lamp, and crunching the numbers, I got round about 1300 lumens, which is better than the 1000 lumens advertised, which indicates that Monstrum doesn't inflate their lumen numbers like so many other budget lights you'll find online. Let's take a look at the beam pattern. And that is nice and bright. And you can see that there is a subtle hot spot, but it is so gradual into the spill as to just really just be a huge flood. So you could consider this a 10-foot wide hot spot. So plenty bright, but here's the thing. You can step it down, but it doesn't have mode memory. I'm going to turn it off. It goes directly into maximum 1000 lumens, so that could be blinding in tight quarters. Let's take a look at the laser. And the thing is, when you turn the laser on, it turns the flashlight off, and vice versa. So you can't have both modes on. You can't have both the laser and the flashlight on, so something to be aware of. Alright, let's test out this Tracer flashlight. Let's start off with the laser here, and we can easily illuminate even the telephone pole there 120 feet away, and I'm sure this could probably reach out much further than that. Alright, now let's check out this flashlight. Oh yeah, quite a broad and intense beam on high here. We have our avocado tree there at 15 feet away, and up the hill we can easily see the pine tree up the hill 60 feet away, and it has enough throw to illuminate the telephone pole there 120 feet away. So, but it is quite a floody beam. A typical product drop test is done from a 1 meter height. Well, I'm going to drop it from 2 meters, 6 feet, onto dirt and rocks. Twice. And we're going to see if anything broke and if it still works. Light works, and so does the laser. The tracer is IPX6 rated, which means that it can survive high pressure water sprays. So let's test that out with this pressure washer. Yep, it passed. Okay, I fully recharged the unit, and now we're going to do a runtime test. We're going to see how long the battery lasts at 1000 lumens. First, let's make sure that it is on its highest mode. By the way, I'm testing a keychain light in that water pitcher behind the tracer, so hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when I post that review. Now, I'm just going to leave it on, and we're going to do a time lapse and see when it shuts off. The user manual states that the tracer has a runtime of 30 minutes at 1000 lumens, so let's see if that's true. And yeah, 29 minutes is pretty darn close to 30 minutes in my book, so I'll give it a pass. Let's see that again, but pay close attention to the beam. It stays pretty consistent. I don't notice any dimming until like the last 2 or 3 minutes, and for what people call a budget brand, that's a pretty good performance. Alright, so I've carried this for the last couple of weeks, so now I feel like I've got enough experience to give you some relevant and realistic feedback on how well this works. But before I do that, I want to ask you to please hit the like and subscribe buttons right now. It just takes a second, but it makes a big outsized difference when you do, because this is a really small channel. As of filming and editing this video, I've got less than 2,000 subscribers. It's not like one of these big gadget channels that has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And the way the algorithm works is that it will recommend videos that are popular. It doesn't recommend unpopular videos to folks. So by hitting the like button, you can really make a difference in terms of getting this video in front of other people who have interests like you, who haven't seen this video. And in fact, I'm a little surprised that you were able to find this video in the first place, but I appreciate it. That's because somebody else just like you hit the like and subscribe button. So again, thanks for doing that if you have already. Alright, so the Monstrum Tracer. Now, the first thing I'm sure you're thinking of is how similar this looks like to another popular, bigger EDC light maker, that being the Olight Arcfelt. And that's one of the first things I thought when I first saw it, was like, it looks like an Arcfelt, suspiciously like an Arcfelt. There are some significant differences between the two. Beyond the first blush in terms of its just general shape. It does look like an Arcfelt, but the controls are different. The Arcfelt has a dial as well as a button to control how it functions and activates. I actually kind of prefer the dial method, though there's some positive things about the simplicity of these two pressure pads, but it does have one possible problem with how it activates. Now, you have to double tap on this to turn it on. And that is great because it does prevent, it helps prevent accidental discharge. But if you press it once, or if you accidentally bump into something or sit down weird or lean back against something, you don't accidentally turn it on. But that isn't the same case with the laser. If you just single tap the laser, it turns it on. And that could be a problem. And now this only happened once. But I took this out of my pocket and found that the laser was turned on. In the last 3 weeks, that only happened once. But maybe once is too much, too often for an EDC emergency light, Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how often you take your EDC light off. But I think they could have easily fixed that by making the laser activate just like the flashlight. I don't understand why their engineers or product designers decided on a different control schema. So I don't know. I think they could easily fix this by making the laser a double tap. I don't know how easy that is in the factory to reprogram the chips for the next batch or whatever. I'm not an electrical engineer. Leave me a comment if you have a better idea or some better experience with how easy it is to reprogram these things. One thing I didn't like about this is that it doesn't have mode memory, and in this day and age, I don't understand why this doesn't have mode memory. And what I mean by that is when you turn the flashlight on, all right, it goes into high mode, and you can cycle down to low mode. Obviously, and if you turn it back on again, turn it off, and then you turn it back on again, it's back on high mode. And for a lot of folks, that's a deal breaker. I like to have it on low mode or at least on medium mode, because oftentimes when I use my EDC, it's to find something, let's say, that's fallen under the seat, or I'm looking into the inside of a car or some other small dark place, and having it automatically turn on to brightest mode can blind you. So that could be a deal breaker for a lot of folks out there. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, then that also could be something that could be easily fixed. I would think so. Most EDC lights out there have a mode memory. So I don't know why this doesn't either. And one other thing, you can't turn the laser on while you have the light on. So here's the light. Again, it went back to high mode, but once I turn the laser on, it turns it off. So I can see, actually, I could totally see an occasion where you'd want to have both the light and the laser on when you're outdoors at night and you're looking for something, you have somebody with you and you want to point at something, let's say you're pointing at a gutter on the outside of a building at night, and you want to point at some fixture on it. Having a laser pointer is exactly what a laser pointer is good for. But if it's pitch dark, you also want to have your flashlight on. So I don't understand why both of them can't be on at the same time. Certainly, almost every EDC light every weapon light that I've owned that has a laser on it, you can do both. So I don't understand why they couldn't do it both on this. And I would recommend that to Monstrum in the next batch of this to fix those issues. There are some things I really like about this too. So let's end with some pros here. One is it really is solidly built. It feels really solid. And it doesn't say or claim that it is a glass breaker, but I would be surprised if you couldn't break through side glass on a car in an emergency just by hitting this, because it just feels really solid. And I love the fact that it is powered, recharged with a USB-C port. Now, that's one of the things about the ArcFel that we talked about earlier. All of Olight's new flashlights use their proprietary magnetic charging pad, which is great to some degree for keeping the environment out of your device, but that just means you have to bring that proprietary charging cable with you. And if you're on a trip somewhere, or you just get into a friend's car or whatever, you're not going to be bringing your charging cable with you when you're traveling. On a short trip with a buddy for the day or whatnot. But you can at least charge this with any new model smartphone charging cable. Practically, I don't know of any smartphone that's sold nowadays, new models that aren't using USB-C. So I love the fact that this is USB-C. One other would like to have, certainly not a deal breaker, is I'd like Monstrum to offer a different clip as an option here. The newest ArcFel models, their UV models, have that double bend clip that allows you to clip their lights onto the brim of a cap. This and the older model ArcFels just have the standard single clip. So again, nice to have, not a deal breaker. So But if you are interested in picking up one of these Monstrum Tracers, I recommend and I encourage you to use the link in my full written review article on my blog at moondogindustries.com. You'll find a link to that article in this video's description, so please use that link. I do get a tiny commission when you do use that affiliate link, but it doesn't cost you anything more than not using the affiliate link, so please, it really does help a small creator like me. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please hit that like and subscribe buttons. Alright, you be safe out there. Moondog, out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.